Hey, I'm Shyfoxx, and today we will be drawing Pusheen the cat. I'm going to take you through this drawing tutorial step by step so you can follow along and draw this too. We are going to start with drawing in the middle of our page a nice big, kind of like a circle, but more oval. We're going to start at the top here. Go around lightly. These shapes can be hard to get right. So elongate your oval if you can. I'm thinking mine could be even a little longer, so I'm just gonna bring this down, and because we're drawing lightly, it's no problem that we can just go back and erase. So with this piece, there's a lot we're going to have to think about in terms of being symmetrical. This is actually really best described as an egg shape. So try and get an egg shape on your page, getting a little narrower at the top and a little wider at the bottom to start with. Let's do an axis vertically through the middle of our egg shape and one through the middle horizontally. Then we're also going to divide this into 4 quadrants. So we need a line between here and here, another halfway line, and another halfway line up here. So roughly we have 4 quadrants that way. All right, let's start at the top of the head and we'll do the ears. Let's draw in a little bit more defined the forehead line at the top, and that's going to give us an indicator of where our ears should start. We're going to have them go pretty straight up but slightly angled, and a rounded tip, pointed but rounded, and this is going to join up with the body, and I'm actually going to cut off part of my, you can see this part, cut through my oval and then join up, and I'm gonna, I guess we're kind of drawing the body at the same time, and then I'm gonna have the widest part of my Pusheen's body be where this line meets the circle. So once we get to here, we're gonna curve back around and join up, and then it's gonna really flatten off. This is gonna be fairly flat at the bottom. So it comes wide and joins. And this is really the key shape to a Pusheen. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And if it helps you, just erase the guidelines you no longer need, which is going to be the outside of the circle on this side and the inside of the circle on that side. Okay, same thing on the other side. Pretty straight up, but slightly angled. Give that tip of the ear a little rounded feel, but still a triangle. And cut through the side of our oval and cross through into the widest part, which is where these meet. That'll help it be symmetrical as well. And then it flattens off, rounds through here and flattens off. Now we've got our base shape. If your base shape at this point doesn't quite look as you'd expect, now's a good time to fix it. Just pause the video as well if you need a moment. And I see something that doesn't look very symmetrical in mine, or could be improved on, so I'm gonna nitpick it and fix it. This ear isn't quite as large as the one on the other side, and I like the larger look, so I'm gonna go back in, try and fix that. Hopefully it'll look better. There pretty well won't be any pointed lines in this image. Okay, great. Let's draw his little feet. They are rather small. So just sort of in the center of the quadrant, you can do a little C shape. And then a backward C shape. These are symmetrical to each other. Decide if those look good. And we're gonna have in the middle of this quadrant, but more towards the middle axis, a little almost swirl shape. But make sure it has a rounded feel to it. Right there, that's one paw, and this paw is going to be sticking up. It's going to be starting roughly where the middle position of this one is. So start here, it's going to go up, and that's going to give it that wave feel. So like an upside down U. Great. Let's give our Pusheen a tail at this point. So at this bottom corner, I think it would be best to attach, I was going to attach it there, but I think a little higher. It's about here, which is the middle of this quadrant for it to start. And it's going to do a slight curve, round, and these Pusheen tails are roughly the same thickness throughout the whole tail. So you can aim for that. There we go. I'm going to give it some stripes. And I'm even going to color in these stripes. Shade in these stripes here. And we'll give our Pusheen stripes on his back. So just really small, little rounded shapes like that. One, give a little space, and roughly the same size. And the other, you can shade that in. I think our Pusheen needs some eyes. Eyes and a nose, so we must carefully place these. And they are pretty far apart from each other. So find the middle of this quadrant that we have. Find the middle, and we're going to position ourselves underneath the ear, approximately down like that. Do one eyeball, just a round dot. Nice and easy. Same thing on the other side where these meet. We're going to do a round dot. Looking for them to be roughly the same size. And then we're going to do a mouth. So the mouth is also going to be in the middle. And positioning wise, it is almost just as high middle of this quadrant as the eyes are. It's part of the Pusheen look. So the top of this 3 smile, so it's like a 3, will be centered on this line, the imaginary line. I guess if we drew it, it'd be like that. And then it curves down, comes back and touches the line. And I'm going to thicken my mouth because we kind of want that to stand out. And I'd like Pusheen's mouth to be kind of open, like he's saying hi. And so we just attach another U shape on there. We also don't want to forget his 3 little cat markings. They are the same length roughly, and position them evenly at the top of his forehead if you can. And I'm going to shade those in. And we have one more thing to add, the whiskers. These are going to be roughly at the same height of the eye. First whisker is going to begin at this middle line that we've drawn. So they're just kind of thick lines, same thickness the whole way. And another one angled just slightly more down. We angled the first one higher up, this one's slightly more down. Give them some thickness. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Might help to draw the shape first. The shape does need to begin inside Pusheen's body. So I'm going to just refine that. Inside Pusheen's body. First one angles more upward. Second one angles more out to the side and down. Do those look even from this side to this side? I think mine do, so I'm going to shade this one in. Great. One final step just to make our art pop is going to be to give it a border. But before I do that, I'm just going to erase my guidelines as I don't want them to be there. Don't want them to be there in the final version of this sketch. I do make digital art tutorials as well, so if you're interested in learning how to turn your art into a digital creation, I use a program called Clip Studio Paint. Definitely recommend it, and you can, yeah, check out other videos on my channel if that interests you. Okay, I'm gonna add that border in. Using a pencil, I think the 6B pencil? No, sorry, 4B pencil. My 4B pencil. And it's got a fairly... I've drawn enough with it that it's kind of gotten flat on the one side, so a little easier to do a border with when it's kind of gotten flat, not as sharp. I like to sharpen my pencils at the beginning, and then seemingly by the time I get to this stage, I've flattened it down a bit. So just go around everywhere that's on the outside. In this case, we might also want to do some of the lines on the inside that are important. So I'm just going to thicken slightly, not as thick as my border, but slightly thicken the feet, slightly thicken the hands, and make sure our eyes are dark. Committing to the placement of these eyes. If the eyes are off, something looks weird, check if the eyes are off, and you can certainly erase and move them. And I might even color in the mouth just a little bit there. And our pushing is done. Awesome job, you guys. I'll show you mine as a digital artwork. This is my version of this in digital. I upload new draw-alongs every day, so if you want to do more, then just subscribe to the channel and check those out. I hope you enjoyed this draw-along. I certainly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next one. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for drawing along and watching. See you later.